Good evening, everybody, and welcome to must be a Wednesday night stream of F1 2017. And we're just going to get straight into it. And joined on stream tonight by Luce. Hello, Luce.
Howdy.
And for the first time ever over voice comms, rather than just sitting in a chat, it's Milky. G'day, Milky.
Yeah, g'day, mate.
Yeah, how's it going, mate? Oh, sorry, hang on, what did we say before? Hey, or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's a good one. Shanna's the other one.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yep. The Hungaroring. This should be fun. So I hope everybody's having a swell week. I'm certainly having a terrific week. I say without a hint of sarcasm whatsoever. But I'm looking forward to throwing a Red Bull around the Hungaroring for a while. Game to load, because it takes forever. Right, here we go. We have 323 points, which is completely useless now. It's like I got wet. FP1. Actually, let's check what componentry we have in the car. 54, put that ice back in the car. That thing's dead. All electronics have one more round of practice in them. Let's do it. Working so hard, I need a drink already.
Yeah, that's it. I'm getting a beer. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I should do that too.
I should do that on Thursday night. Except I'll be watching animus on Thursday night instead. So, BL. Alright. Maybe I'll do it on Friday. Oh, actually, no. I think we're going out for dinner on Friday night. I'll have to do it on Saturday night then.
I'll do it on Friday night when you're out. Crack a beer.
I'll crack a beer, but I'm like on stream. Do a drunken stream. Just for the lols. That will do. Let's have a look at our weather situation for this race. Sunny. Sunny getting cloudy. Sunny getting cloudy. Wet at the start of qualifying.
Fantastic.
That's a worry. And then the race is dry. Well done, mate. Track climatization. Let's go see if I remember my way around the Hungaroring. Spoiler alert, I do. First corner, I go left instead of right and mess it up.
Thinks it's anti-clockwise. Rip.
Indeed. It's always weird getting back in these cars after spending some time on, like, driving actual. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just remember the flaws that these cars have.
Yes, I've done it on V1 Bureau Freighter. I'm the fastest man in the world at this track. In time trial.
I'm the fastest man in the world.
Woo! And I can go fast. I can go 2 tins fast from the middle sector.
I did not start well because I've completely missed the apex of turn 1. I missed the gate. All that smugness I had about remembering the track has just gone to folly in the first corner. Well done, Webby. Well done.
Well done, mate.
Thanks, Race Engineer from F1 2010.
No worries, mate.
Whilst we're sitting here on stream, I just want to congratulate you on winning the 2018 Automobilista Australia GT3 Championship.
Thanks, Peppy.
Well then, you've done really well.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Not an easy one where you get bopped every race.
I got bopped, mate, and I got bopped big.
Yeah.
Both got bopped, mate. It's alright.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to forming our super team next season.
Yep, you'll have to do some laps at some point to find which car you like, because as I said, I've decided out of 2 cars, But if you pick another car that you prefer to drive, I'll drive that.
What are the two cars you've narrowed it down to?
Staying in the Lamborghini or the Porsche. But the Porsche is less stable, so.
But it's faster.
It's fast, but it's less stable.
I wonder which car would look better with a big tall sucker on the side of it.
None of them. One that's in the barrier.
Well, actually, the car that had that livery on it, that has the livery of some of the figures that I've got, is actually a Ferrari GT3 car.
Yeah. Half the field already drive them.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm not suggesting you should get that Ferrari.
It's a decent car, but half the field driver.
Well, the good thing about that, Luce, is when we get inevitably bopped for success, the whole field will get bopped at once.
This is the last lap of the program. Final lap of the program.
Keep missing that one corner in the last sector. Getting purple. Like death was only inches away at that point. Sort myself out down here. That's alright. I can live with that. It's not a huge pressure in my day. Alright, management. Let's roll. Literally, down to the turn 1. Let's roll.
Didn't DC do that in 05?
Hungaroring?
Yeah. You get clipped by someone at turn 1? At the start of the race when you rolled? Like, I think Jack or someone hit him.
Speaking of rolling in the Hungaroring, it was the site of my first pro win back in F1A Pro, the Pro League. After Dizzo met an unfortunate end down to turn 1, where he became an Apache helicopter.
Nah, mate, he met up with a former Hungarian Communist Party, and you know, we all know what happens when they want a word with you. The communists in particular do love a helicopter ride.
One way.
Yep.
She's got a ticket to ride. One way.
I'm back.
Very good. Good to have you.
4 laps of fuel remaining.
We were just talking about communists taking a one-way helicopter ride. So
Oh, that's good. I just got a lecture on who Paddy Boulay was.
There you go. Ways to spend your Wednesday
She's
night.
not dead.
Ilky, you couldn't even crack into the top 20 at the Borough. What are you doing, mate?
Mate, I hated that. I'm not driving that garbage. I might just have to be conveniently at work for that one.
Even if I helped you out.
Look, it's a long way down the road.
Listen
Alright,
to
we'll
Stephen.
see.
Listen to Stephen Dank over here.
Oh, I'm not going to give him any gear.
It's all good. I'm well versed in the dark web.
Hitting our target. We'll need to rerun the program if we don't get the time delta back in the green.
Not that I condone anything illegal on the internet. Good save.
Save.
How much is the Hockenheim DLC?
I don't know. You'd have to check Steam. When I got bought release, I bought everything straight away. So
Yeah. The thing is, when I bought it, like my Swedish bank card didn't work online because I'm not a Swedish citizen, so I didn't get full banking access or whatever,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So now that I'm back and my card does work online, so to buy the initial game and Imola, I sold one of my CS skins. Yeah.
It's like old-fashioned. It's like old-fashioned bartering.
Didn't know you could do stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
just
you
sell them
can.
on the Steam market, and I had some, like my knife skin in CS is worth $200
Why is it worth that much money?
because it's really rare. Like they don't, you pay like you get a case right, in game, you pay like $2 for the key, and it has a percentage chance of dropping certain items.
Okay.
And dropping a knife skin is like under 1%, and then even within that, there's then like rare skins. You know what I mean? So one, it's a rare item, and two, it's got a rare skin on it.
Yeah. Okay. And it's unlocked, and you've got to actually pay money.
Yeah, I paid $2.50 for the key, so I got really lucky and I unboxed two knives that were both worth about $100 each, and then I used like a third-party site to trade that up to just one really good one.
Oh yeah.
Before Valve cracked down on it, so at the time I wasn't doing anything illegal, but if I did it now I would be.
That's stupid.
Well, Valve always said they never wanted them to hold real-world value, but people, being people, attached real-world values to them.
Yep.
$6.
Fuck, I don't think you're gonna be able to afford that.
Oh, I don't get paid for another week.
Oh, that guy's set up as shit.
$60 a day as well.
But I spent like 130. That's on fuel and oil.
Messed it at the last corner. Fuel and oil, 100 and what'd you say, 150?
Fuel, oil, had to buy bought an oil filter, and and like, well, that was the pricey stuff anyway. Also bought like Mountain Dew and a Bounty Bar.
Yeah, right.
Ooh.
Go on a
Living the
diet.
dream.
Go on a diet, son. You'll save some money.
Mate, I am. I mean, I'm eating sandwiches for lunch instead of buying it every day.
They're not healthy for you though. Well, bread's packed full
Yeah,
of carbs,
what's
brother.
in the sandwich?
Peanut butter.
Too much butter, too much cholesterol.
Do you know how dieting works?
Hey, it's better than having deep fried freaking food every day.
Diet's not a comparative thing. You just go, well, I'm on a diet because I'm no longer having chips for lunch. Like that's.
I've lost weight, alright?
Like, I was eating chicken and rice pretty much every meal, not because it's good for me, because it's the only thing I could afford. I didn't say I was on a diet, I was just trying to not die.
You don't need to be on a diet, Ed.
Yeah, that too.
Unless you've fully beef caked up since the last time.
No,
I
I've
saw
lost
you.
weight.
Yeah, blow away in a stiff breeze.
That's why I'm drinking beer, I gotta put it all back on, you know?
Yeah, mate, that's what you got to do. You're
Matt and I just like beer.
You're back in Australia now, son. You gotta man up.
Yeah.
I'm doing alright.
So
I'm down 9 kilos, so.
Ooh. Mum was down in Parks, and she was saying she was at an event, and all the, like, old men kept coming up to her being like, and whose wife are you, love? And she's like, no one's.
Oh, you're on the market then.
More or less, yeah. So she's got to put up with a day of people being like, who do you belong to? And she's like, mate, it's 2018.
Dude. Indeed.
So how could I track pack come with the old one? Or do I have to download a separate track for that?
No, it comes with the old one, the new one, the shorter version of the new, or a couple versions of the shorter, you know, like the club and touring car versions of the new one.
Yeah.
It's a better way of describing that. Does it come with it comes with a good one and a bad one?
Yeah.
I like the new one.
What's wrong with you, man? You need an MRI by the sounds of it.
Sweden's done some bad things to you.
I also enjoy banana on pizza, so yeah.
Indeed.
That would be interesting.
It's deceptively tasty.
I'm not one to knock something like that. I mean, I don't get why people hate pineapple on pizza and think people that eat it should be shot and stuff, but
I don't like pineapple at all, but it's that, you know, I don't care if someone else puts it on their pizza.
yeah, some people take the whole thing just way too far.
Really tackling the hard-hitting issues in this this conversation.
Oh yeah, for sure. We are all over it.
They are hard-hitting issues.
By the way, pineapple on pizza, just great. Honestly, people need to get over themselves.
You a fan?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, 100% Nico Rosberg for sure on that.
Yeah, he did use that one.
But Felipe, massive sure.
Oh sure.
That was every second word you ever spoke in English.
1 minute 9 is the time trial record. Jesus.
For what current track?
Hockenheim Formula Ultimate.
Fuck.
That is quick.
109.3. This Hockenheim's on this weekend, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
Yes.
3 laps of fuel remaining.
Yes, it's on this weekend.
There we go. Just had to keep it in 5th gear at the last corner. Got ourselves a perp.
Oh, I know why it's fast.
Hey, Hip Hip,
That's a
thanks for the
Kirchhoff, dude.
follow. Much appreciated. Hip Hip, Hi Pip.
Oh yeah, he
H.
raced in FSR, didn't he?
Who's that?
Yeah, I think he was champion.
Yeah, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Don't worry about those other two.
We also appreciate you following Webby.
Thanks,
Yep.
Luz. Good guy. And you too, Ed. All
Ed
right.
didn't say anything.
Yeah, he said, yep.
I said, yeah.
Yeah. I was listening. Don't worry. I got your back, son. All right, let's do this race stint. I should do like a mega stream on Friday or something. I should do one over the weekend at least. Mind you, I did do a 2 race stream last weekend, went for like 3.5 hours. You joined just as we were talking about pizza, so I'm going to say that pineapple on pizza is the whole reason that Hip Hip just followed it. Good old pineapple on pizza.
Could have heard me say I don't like pineapple. That could have been it.
That's true.
I'm around all day Friday if you need company.
Yeah, I'm not working on Friday. I've got to see what I'm going to do. But
I got work, but I'll be on, I guess, on in the evening.
yeah, like I said, I'm going out for dinner, but
Daniel's currently P8.
should be a good fun day. To not go to work, make up for having to work on Sunday.
Well, you're working on Sunday. Ooh.
No, I did work on last Sunday, so that's why I got Friday off. So it's already done. Like the dirty deed's already done.
Ah.
Fun dirt cheap.
Of course, it's the only way dirty deeds are done, man. How Australian are you?
About 5%.
I see. What do we got? With pineapple. Smiley face. Like it. Good stuff, Hip Hip.
Oh.
Hang on. Let's just get this name right. A920123 is beast. Gonna be a great couple of weeks for me. Got Vips for got Hockenheim Spa. That is awesome, man. Well done. That's great. Take photos. That'd be cool. It's been a long time since I was a VIP at a Grand Prix.
Yeah, Fizzy's come back.
Yeah, I know. Fissy needs to get on to Fissico and tell him he needs to make a comeback.
No, I don't think he will be because he's winning in GTs. He won on the weekend.
Yeah.
You could go to GT races. They're usually pretty cool.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Super job so far. We're getting great.
That's good, man.
data
Oh, I hope
on
you have a good time,
stadium
Beast. I was going to call you Beast. Hope that's okay. By the way, Spa, what a great track. Honestly, favourite track on the calendar. There's no better track to go to, I reckon. Except maybe Suzuka, but that would be more about being in Japan than it would be actually being in Suzuka. Suzuka being my second favourite track. Probably just because it's in Japan. But it is actually a great driver's circuit. Oh, that wasn't very good. Short shifting on it, doing a field test. I'm gonna get that time back, am I? Oh, that does not go well at all. Yeah, my mum is close friends with the mum of Stoffel. Oh, that's awesome.
You weren't quite good enough.
Tell Stoff we said hello if you get a chance. Tell him he's welcome to come on the channel and race me anytime he likes.
Just tell him to punt Max, please. That's all I ask.
Mate, you're asking for trouble if this guy turns out to be Dutch. You'll have a hit taken out on you.
Oh, I'm scared. The Dutchies are coming.
Wow. Remember how we
Mate,
were talking before
you
the stream
should be.
started about racism?
You brought up the Dutch, not me.
I find around this track more than any other. The way I want to drive the track is different from the racing line.
Yeah, and that's a big problem in F1 Codemasters.
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm Belgian, and Max is 50% Belgian too, so shh. Yep.
Is he half Belgian?
Yes, he is, yeah.
Yeah.
His mum was Belgian. Or is.
Ah, yeah.
Yoss didn't get to finish her off, so it is. That was a joke, world. But there's a story behind that. I'm just not saying that for lols.
Yeah, Yoss isn't the cleanest character going about, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's not winning a world's greatest sun mug anytime soon either.
Bloody talented, but a complete pleb. Actually, no, that does disservice to plebs.
Was
Wow.
he actually that talented?
We're
He
talking Yoss or Max?
Max.
Max is definitely talented.
Oh, I was talking Yoss.
Oh, Yoss, he was... You had to have been talented to some degree to get into F1. And to get a drive at Benetton. Obviously, he showed while at Benetton that, you know, he wasn't very good. And then he somehow stuck around F1 for a while, I don't know how, but he did. He just got results that just kept him in the sport every now and again.
Wow, I need to get this last lap as the time. I don't know why I was struggling so much. Lap times are really inconsistent. So I guess you'll be a Beast, you'll be a guest of McLaren, so that should be good fun. They're having a cracking season thus far.
If they need
Yeah,
a
that
cheap
chassis,
driver,
right?
if they need a driver on the cheap for next year when like Fernando goes and stuff, I'm available.
Yep.
I'll do it for less than him, though.
I'll pay you to let me race.
Oh, alright, Stroll.
They want to race a champion though, so you know.
Oh, listen to him. Listen to him. A GT3 champion, mate. That's worth 2 parts of nothing.
Hey, freaking Andre, freaking Lotterer, freaking got a run, freaking 20 years after he last drove an open wheel car.
His run didn't even last a lap.
Still got to drive an F1,
Yeah,
mate.
let's not call it a run.
It was more of a hobble up the street.
Still got to run, mate.
Oh man, we've messed this up, haven't we? Yeah, we'll do a good word. Thanks, Beast. You can show them my video on how I didn't even manage to do a like a proper stint at Hungary. I don't think F1 2018 is a good representation of actual driving ability, though. Particularly
Yeah, which is weird because you're playing F1 2017.
That's true, actually. Yeah, good pickup there. Let's just end FP2 and go to FP3.
An interesting practice session there, then.
We'll still
Let's
10
remind ourselves
fastest,
of
but I just couldn't. I couldn't. I don't know what it was. I just couldn't do those times. Mind you, I couldn't do the time. I easily done the times in Austria, and look how well that race turned out. So, nah, it's not really representative. Wait till we get another 1,000 points. Oh, actually, no, we've got the 500 points now, don't we? So we can finish off that upgrade, the last upgrade that failed. There it is.
Have you been keeping abreast of what's actually changing in the 2018 game? Or?
They're adding the Halo, so I already hate it. Oh, hang on. Is this going to be a controversial opinion?
I have grown accustomed to it.
You've grown accustomed
I
to its
don't
face.
really see it when I look at the car anymore.
I do. I hate it, but I've still got the game on pre-order.
Yeah, I don't notice it when I'm not looking at.
Alright, let's do qualifying pace, and then we could have another go at... No, actually, I'm not going to worry about it. I failed. I'm not going to keep going back and redoing things. Let's do qualifying pace. So this celebrates a full season at Red Bull. This was my first race for the team in my second season. I think if he put Stoffel in a Force India or in a Renault, he would fight for first place with best of the rest. Potentially, his performance against Fernando this year has not been particularly
Good.
yes.
Just say it.
He's not been inspiring, but he's not awful.
Like, he's not an awful driver, but Fernando's been really showing him up this year. I think Fernando's just made it his goal this year to absolutely pummel Stoffel, because he's got nothing else to achieve.
Well, except for the World Endurance Championship title.
No, I mean in Formula 1.
Well, the World Endurance Championship title, he should win that by default. So...
I mean, he will.
I'm pretty sure Toyota will rig it either way, so he wins it.
Yeah, you got to feel bad to be anyone else in that team. Like, at the driver's meeting, like the first meeting, like, oh, I'm not in Fernando's car. Oh.
The cars aren't the same. Yeah, I'd say that that Alo's most likely getting all the upgrades before Stoffel does. In fact, I'd guarantee that Alo's getting all the upgrades before Stoffel does. There won't be any equity there, I can assure you. Alonso is the best on the grid, in my opinion. He definitely is. You put him in that Ferrari or in that Mercedes, and he would be showing Vettel and Hamilton the way, I believe.
I think it's interesting that he is widely recognised as the best, and yet no one wants to give him the chance.
Best driver,
he's not being given an opportunity.
Best driver, bad personality.
He's burnt too many bridges, that's why. Yeah, he's just burnt too many bridges, so that's why people don't... Like, he'd be back in Ferrari if he hadn't burnt so many bridges. You know, on his way out. The Mercedes aren't going to pick him up. And Red Bull probably wouldn't pick... They wouldn't have picked him up.
Red Bull don't need to, they've got signs.
Yeah, but even like, let's say if we go back to 2014 again, like they wouldn't have picked him up because he was damaged goods.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be okay if it wasn't for Vettel and Hamilton. He'd go back to one of those cars, but he can't play nice with others. So, well, sorry, it's not just him. All of those guys will have the same problem with each other. Well, that's good. I'm supposed to be able to do this qualifying run
Let's try to find a bit more.
with no rich fuel. Good. He's hurting me down the straight. Look at that. Oh, man, the way the front of the car just bit them was insane. Ah, that's already wrecked. That's cool. We'll just accept the green result.
Our best lap so far is a 1 minute.
Let's do it.
Quick look at the
Let's do quali.
classification at the end of the session then. Here are your top three. Vettel, a Red Bull, and Sergio Perez. That concludes an
Interesting, we're at good pace. Second fastest. Cool. Wonder how it will go down at Mercedes this year if Vettel actually does win the championship. I'm not convinced that Hamilton's going to take it well.
Well, I didn't take losing Silverstone very well.
No. No.
Neither did Mercedes. That's the worst meltdown from a team I've ever seen.
Yeah, just basically just come out and accuse Ferrari of cheating. That's pretty extreme. Oh, excuse me. Oh, let's go quali. Yeah, no, I didn't fancy Mercedes' response to that. I said so on Twitter. It was just like,
We hope you're looking forward to today's qualifying in Hungary as much as...
I'm not much of a fan of teams just being, you know, their first response being, oh, you know, we lost because someone else cheated kind of thing. Like that's pretty poor form. Right, particularly when it's just a racing incident the way that it was. There's just no need for that. No need at all. Toto Wolff hasn't really shown himself to be that gracious of a loser. You know
he wasn't that much of a gracious winner either. I think people forget that. Oh, you know, Ferrari are close to us, and then they just wipe the floor being like a second faster. Like you knew that he knew how much of a gap they had, and tried to play it cool and stuff to keep interest in the sport.
It's not his fault his team are dominant. It is the rules.
Yeah.
It is the rules' fault that the other teams weren't allowed to catch up for so long. But
well, that was partly Mercedes' fault. Having, you know, the exact rules, engine rules, 3 years before everyone else did.
Oh, that's just good management. But I don't hold that against them. I hold it against the FIA that they took so long to change the rules to fix that inequality. Toto's only really been there since the team got successful. He wasn't there for, you know, if you think about when he moved over from Williams, when the team was really struggling early on.
Didn't he move over like in 2014?
I
No,
thought
no,
it was
he
2013.
was already there. I think it was 13. When he
Yeah,
came,
no, you're right.
Yeah, when he came in, Ross Braun was the team principal, and it was just after Norbert Haugen left, I think.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Big Norby.
Yeah, because Norb and Ross essentially kind of threw themselves on their sword to let Toto and Nicky kind of get their way.
Oh, well,
their team
no.
to be successful.
P3 on the grid.
Yeah, not so much. It was Ross was thrown under the bus by Nicky and Toto. Is how I remember it being.
Yeah, it wasn't the best situation.
Too many chefs in the kitchen.
It really was.
But they've got Ross Braun to thank for their championships. Because he's the one who set them up for the hybrid era.
Daniel sat in P1 at the moment.
Back to the pits for now. I don't want to just keep driving around on max fuel. I'm just gonna end up wearing out componentry. What are we? 5th.
How the hell have people set these lap times? .42.0. He had to have hacked the track.
All on inters. My wife recently bought me F1 2017 with a wheel, and I'm used to driving with ABS and TC on with auto gears. Should turn all off to get used to it, or try and do it gradually. So my advice would be to definitely switch to using manual gears, because if you've got a wheel that's got paddle shift, it's really, really easy, and you'll find that you've got much more control of the car if you've got manual gears than you do auto gears. So I definitely recommend doing that. In terms of ABS, F1 2017, yeah, would recommend that you would try playing the game without ABS, because I think you'll be able to work out how to use the brakes really, really easily. TC though, I'd recommend leaving TC on, at least medium TC. till you get used to actually doing like throttle modulation and stuff like that. Would be my recommendation. Alright, I'm just going to go back out on track really quick. That would be my recommendation. So yeah, in short, use manual gears, turn off ABS, but keep TC.
Yeah, manual gears, you'll be definitely faster.
Yep.
Like, once you figure out obviously when to rev and when to downshift and what gears to take corners in, you'll be significantly faster than what auto gears.
You've just got so much more control.
And what you'll find is after you obviously get used to auto gears, if you ever come back to driving with auto gears on, you'll find that it's actually really, really annoying. Because you'll come into some corners and you think, oh, okay, I'll just go in this gear, and obviously auto gears, it doesn't downshift to the gear you want, and you end up, you know, going wide or overshooting the corner because it doesn't shift down to the gear that you're used to.
Yeah.
Or the gear you want.
So definitely recommend manual gears. I can't believe I just made it through that. It was in P15. That was bloody lucky. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to go on the soft and try and get through on the soft. But we're going to wait till later in the session, I reckon.
And Matt Webb qualifies P15.
So do I brake first or downshift first? Brake first. So I'd recommend just doing lots of practice, but definitely you hit the brake and then you downshift you downshift as you move into the corner. Be careful, don't downshift too quickly because you'll make the back of the car squirmish. And when you brake hard and then come off the brake as you move into the. So hit the brake hard when you first brake. You'll find a level. You don't want to slam on the brake because what will happen is just instantly lock up. But hit the brake hard. You don't want to be hitting the brake hard and then pushing it harder. You got to do it the other way. You start with the hardest you're going to get, and then you modulate off as the car slows down. So that as you're coming into the corner, particularly if you're trail braking, which most do in an F1 car, as you're coming into the corner, you've only got a little bit of, like 10% brake, and you're coming off to it as you hit the apex, and then you're coming straight off the brake and onto the throttle. You really don't want, you want to spend as little time with no throttle input into the car as possible, because the car doesn't like that. Like race cars don't like that. You want to be either on the brake or on the throttle. So you want to be coming off. You want to be coming off the brake, and as you get down to your last percentage of brake, ideally you want to be then starting to apply some throttle. So, I really don't want to leave it longer because otherwise, how much time is left? What do we got? 13 minutes. Hang on, I want that because I'm gonna take some fuel out of the car. Oh, I already did it. Well done, genius. Minutes. That's good. Get a little bit of water off the track, and then we'll go. Okay, great. So I'm at 80% difficulty at the moment in McLaren. It's so slow on the straights. I can believe that. I feel like there's quite enough grip for this to work, so we'll see how we go. there's not enough grip out there to get this done. We'll throw the super softs on. That was worth a try though.
Okay, you're slower than Daniel.
That would have been better if Idiot didn't start talking to me in the middle of the lap.
Why do you even have him on?
Oh, because he's useful for some stuff, Luce.
I assumed you meant us.
No, I meant the bloody race engineer. I'm in the middle of a quali lap. Okay, so you're faster than Daniel in this quarter, and then I'm like, I'm in the middle of a qualifying lap, you doofus. Like, surely it's not hard to code it. I'm in qualifying on a timed lap. You should probably be quiet. So we'll put our mandatory set on. Get there and do a lap. Lane up there. Hadn't seen that before.
Yeah, the one goes over like every track.
Yeah. Shows you how concentrated I am on the actual racing. It's the bloody DRS button. Yeah. Silly mistake with the gears. bad lap. I would give my left nut for a 1:19 around Hungary in my McLaren. I wouldn't go that far. It's just a lap time. It's not worth your manhood. We can go, look at that, we went purple in the first sector, we can go faster. Hey Major Davis, how are you? Welcome to the stream, good to have you. Oh, hang on. No. Not that set, not that set. Come on. I don't know why make you go through that stupid animation before they give you access back to it.
What, with the little iPad or whatever?
Yeah.
Our best lap so far is a 1:19.1.
Nicolas Cage, you don't say face. I can see the clock, numbskull. Am I a big F1 fan? I am. I'm likely to be the biggest F1 fan you've ever met. And I say that without exaggeration. I've been following Formula 1 for nigh on... Ooh, well, that was a mistake, too busy talking. For nigh on 30 years. Fourth. So you must be about my age. Yeah, I'm 30. I'm 36. Who's your favorite past and present driver?
The grid is all set then for the race tomorrow.
My favorite. That's a tough one to answer. I've been
a
fan of.
Vettel, Bottas.
So we got outqualified by our teammate. That's not perfect, but so my favorite driver of all time is Jean Alesi. Jean. I love Jean when he was in sport, particularly when he's at Ferrari. And then obviously there was a crossover point where Jean went back after he left Ferrari, went through a number of smaller teams like Prost and Sauber, and I switched affiliation to Giancarlo Fisichella, and I was actually lucky enough to work for Fisi for a while, doing some stuff for him on his fan website, which is nice. Got to meet him a few times, met a whole bunch of people. That was really cool. So definitely Jean in terms of favourite driver. Fisi in terms of, because I got to know him and I thought he was a really cool guy, and you know he was a great entry point for me to the sport. Favourite current driver. When Fisi retired, I sort of was like, I don't really have a favourite anymore, and I couldn't really pick one. I do like Daniel Ricciardo because I'm an Australian, and plus Daniel Ricciardo is just really difficult to dislike, I think. I also like Fernando Alonso because I think Alonso is the best driver on the grid. I didn't like Alonso when he was teammates with Fisi at Renault, but I like him now. Yeah, Danny's great. I think he would be the best world champion on the grid out of all the current flock of drivers. The guy who would bring the most to the sport would be Daniel Ricciardo, I reckon. So yeah, nowadays I follow Daniel, Fernando, and excuse me, the water's coming to get me, and Nico Hülkenberg. I like Nico Hülkenberg. I reckon he's good. I just wish he'd stop throwing away his opportunities when he had them. A few times he's been in a position to grab a podium, and he's usually buried in 3 wheels deep into the barrier in said position. So, qualified bad, Danny. That's not good. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. In terms of who I think is the best driver that I've seen, Michael Schumacher, bar none. And not only because of the way he drove on track, not only because of the way he drove, but the fact that he sort of redefined. Like Prost brought a lot of professionalism to the sport in the 80s. But Michael took it to another level. Like Michael took gentleman races kind of thing, and he made it that you had to be real good to beat Michael Schumacher. Like even if you had the best car, there was no guarantee you were going to be able to beat him. Just ask Hill, Villeneuve and Hakkinen, and particularly Coulthard, what it was like to race against Michael Schumacher when he didn't have the best car. Like everyone says Michael, won 5 championships in a row in the best car. Yeah, fair enough. But he also challenged for championships when he didn't have the best car. Relentlessly, consistently. And he always took it down to the wire. It was insane. If you look back over his career at the early Ferrari days, Michael, you actually learn more about him as a driver in the years when he wasn't in the best car than what you do about him when he was in the best car. Would you agree with that, Luce?
Yeah, that's how you gauge him. It's the best way to sort of gauge him. If you look at his years, obviously 97, that Ferrari, even though it was a topsy-turvy year with how things played out, it shouldn't have been anywhere near Williams. And he almost, he was only a couple points off. Obviously, what happened in the final round sort of cost him a bit. But he was leading towards the end of that championship. He was leading that championship and looking like he, could take it. And then 98, that McLaren with the Bridgestone tyres was much better than the Ferrari with the Goodyear tyres, but obviously Ferrari clawed back and Schumacher in the middle part of the year was flawless. Sure, the Silverstone thing happened, but like the other races, he was flawless. And then 99, he was on his way to probably win the championship with the year McLaren were having. And he obviously broke his leg, but then he comes back and dominates, you know, so... And even, like, people say, oh, he had the best car for, all his Ferrari years when he won the championships. But you could be... If you look back, he didn't. Like, 2000, that McLaren was a better car. It just broke down. And I think it was just because that Ferrari was just closer than what they had been in the previous years to their championship rivals that Schumacher got it done. And then 2001 was probably the first year in his career that you could say undoubtedly he had the best car. Yeah. But even then, like, Williams weren't at their best. Like, they had Ralf Schumacher and Montoya weren't the best versions of themselves. And it was also a case of Williams being Williams and also learning the new Michelin tyres at the time. Yeah. McLaren were on a downward trend. The car they built that year wasn't all that good, and they lost a lot of power because they got their engines...
Yeah, they had the, what was it, the beryllium? Got taken out of their engine block?
Yeah, for those that don't know, beryllium, I can't remember what year it was outlawed, but I think it was in the 90s. It got outlawed. You can't have beryllium in any parts of your car because it's unsafe. Even though McLaren said, we've refined it in a way that made it safe, is that if it fails in a certain way, it can be toxic. So it was banned, and they were found to have it. Obviously, 2002 is probably the first year you can say, okay, best car. But even then, he was on the podium pretty much I think he was on the podium just about every race that year. No one's done that. I think there might have been one race he wasn't on the podium or something like that. But yeah, you look at the years where his car wasn't as good, and that's how you measure how good he was. Yeah, there was races obviously in the 80s where Senna's car wasn't as good, but he was still in the midfield in sort of nowhere from time to time. And we've seen Hamilton in cars who could be another contender for greatest of all time. Yep. And he's had races where he's nowhere. He's nowhere on pace, and there's no excuse for it. Like Sochi, the start of last year, he was really lethargic and nowhere. And
when you get a bit of the heartless Hamiltons out.
Yeah, and you get the heartless Hamilton. While with Schumacher, knew he was going to turn up at every race. If there was an opportunity to, take a 5th place out of nowhere, he'll take it. And those points, a lot of the time, that he'd get in his bad races would help him later on in his championship fights, even though he wouldn't go on to win a few of them. But yeah, like 96, he had no right to win a race in that Ferrari. Yep. No right. Like, that Williams should have won every race that year. Obviously, mechanical failures happen, but he had no right, and he obviously one of the greatest drives of all time at Barcelona. He smashed everybody, and then obviously uncharacteristically at Monaco that year, he binned it. But then you got, and then Spa that year, Williams stuffed up, but even then he kept a much faster Villeneuve behind him. And what was the other race he won that year?
But so I'd say that Alo's stint at Ferrari was quite similar to that. Like, he maximised every result. I only remember Alo making one serious error, and that was at Spa when he binned it. He was very good at Ferrari. So, but his time at McLaren has been marred by him getting a bit of the heartless Alonso, so that not wanting to finish races. So that's, I just can't gauge him as high. But he's a serious talent. People that say that Prost was better than Senna make me laugh. We're gonna make you laugh, Major Davis. I'm sorry.
He was.
We're gonna make you laugh there, because if you go back and look at what Prost did as opposed to Senna, Prost is another one. He maximised everything he could. Yep. There was times where Prost, he's a better natural talent than what Prost was.
Let me just preface that by saying, just because we think he's better, it doesn't mean like they're leagues apart. Like we're talking razor thin margins here. Like, we're not talking night and day difference between Prost and Senna, and this is why it's so contentious, right? Prost was, like I said, through the 80s, he redefined what it was to be an F1 driver. Like, he was so professional, and he would do whatever he had to do across a championship. Like, he wasn't looking at individual races, he was looking at a whole championship. And that's how he was very methodical. That's why they called him the professor. And there would be two drivers on the grid not more different than Prost and Senna, like in terms of their approaches. Senna is a class of his own in the wet. He was the best ever. I'm sorry, there's no apology required. You're quite entitled to your opinion, of course. And in the wet, yeah, I definitely agree. On the track, Senna was faster than any driver that I've ever seen in Formula One. Like, there's no doubt about that. Like, in terms of absolute lap time and ability to strangle the buggery out of a car, Senna is the best. But that only, for me, this is obviously just my opinion, but for me, that is only if that's your only metric. If your actual metric is a driver as a whole, then I think both Prost and Schumacher are better than Senna, personally. Because it was just the actual whole package of being the driver and what they bring to the team. I think Schumacher and Prost were superior. In terms of absolute flat-out speed, then yeah, Senna's the fastest driver of all time. I've got no problem with anyone saying that. I think that's true. But I don't just have that as my only metric. But of course, I'm not. It's not anything worth arguing over. They're the greats, like Prost, Senna, Schumacher, Lauda. These guys are the best guys who've been in the sport. And I don't think anyone can argue with that. Really, you're arguing about the top 1% of all drivers who have ever been in Formula One. Anyway, sorry, Luce, I interrupted you.
Well, it's just another play on what I was going to say. It's just another play on Schumacher sort of thing, except Schumacher was sort of like a hybrid of both Prost and Senna in a lot of ways. But he was the methodical driving of Prost with the ruthlessness of Senna. Yeah, but how I see Prost being better than Senna is that outright speed is obviously massively important, but at the same time, there's more to racing than being blindingly fast.
And that might sound weird, but it's true.
Yeah, when it comes down to winning a championship, like, there's going to be races where you're not going to be the fastest, your car's not going to be the best, your car might have a problem. You've got to drive around it, and you've got to make it work. And Prost made it work.
Yep.
He was able to pick up results when he needed them, and it won him world championships. Like, people say, as Matt's just said, Senna's the fastest driver of all time, but Prost beat him 3 times.
Yep.
Not because he was so much, faster than him, but he picked up results when he needed them. He won races when he had to, and he maximised every result he had. While Senna, he did throw away, decent results.
He was much more of a win it or bin it kind of guy, or sorry, in those days, win it or blow it up. But yeah, I mean, as I said, that's not to say that I don't think Senna is a great. Like Senna is clearly one of the greatest drivers that the world's ever known.
Yeah, but in like American sports, they talk about the Mount Rushmore as like the top 5.
Senna won in Brazil, stuck in 6th gear and had a spasm when he got out. He made it work. Yeah, we're not saying that he wasn't a great. Don't get us wrong. Like we're not here shitting on Senna. Like we're not. You know, we all acknowledge that like how great he was. But across a championship, this is where it comes down to what you actually think that makes the great driver. Like, is it just being out and out fastest? Well, if that's the case, then you know, Senna wins. But if it's about more than that, if it's about
the complete driver, then both Prost and Schumacher would gauge better in that regard, I think. But as I said, it's subjective. It's just opinion. I'm certainly not going to argue. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, I don't think much of Senna. Like, Senna's a hero. So, but to me, Prost is at least as good as Senna. I don't think anyone could argue with that. Like, you know, he beat him to championships on numerous occasions. Well, not numerous, but multiple occasions. Like, and that didn't happen with Schumacher. Now, of course, he didn't have Prost or Senna as a teammate, like Prost and Senna did. But at the same time, it's, you know, they're clearly both on equal footing. Like, the results just say that they're on equal footing. I think when people talk about Schumacher, if you look at the early years, he had Brundle, who was highly rated, and he had Riccardo Patrese, who the year before had come from Williams and won a couple of races, and he smoked both of them. So, and Eddie Irvine has said throughout his time, after Formula 1, that Schumacher was the much better driver. And and Schumacher was a driver who found ways to drive through problems and would drive anything. You'd drive the wheels, and the harder the cars were to drive, Schumacher was better. And if you look at '94 and how he beat people, in cars difficult to drive.
So you've brought up '88. Prost had the helping of the FIA leader of Balestre being, what happened in '88 was a joke. Like, and nobody's going to sit here and argue about that. Like, what happened in '88 was an absolute travesty, and Balestre is where he belongs in the annals of history. No one says that what happened in '88 was right. I don't think even the most ardent of Prost fans says that what happened in '88 was the right thing to happen. So, yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. Like, what happened in '88 was a joke. However, they went into the last race equal in the championship. So they're clearly at least on equal footing, right? Like, it's not like it's, you know, Prost was really, really lucky. Like, he was leading the championship at that point. And you would have to think that if that had have happened in 2016, for example, between the certain two silver cars, the result would have been the same when it comes to two drivers hitting each other. In fact, we saw it at Austria. So it happens. Teammates hit each other in those situations. Like, that's been true. That's been true in the rare times where you've had the best car and two teammates pretty equally matched. But you've got to say that they're at least on equal footing at that point. What happened in '88 was a travesty, and I was going to argue with that. Like, it was a joke.
And before I head off, because I have to leave, what I'm going to sort of piggyback on that is when you have like two drivers in cars that are much faster than everyone else, and they're both obviously super competitive and they're very close on track, there's bound to be times where they're going to run into each other.
Oh yeah, of course. Particularly when their only opposition is each other.
But yeah, anyway, I'm going to head off.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Been good talking to you. I'll catch you in the next one, yeah?
Yep. Okay, see you, lads.
See you, mate.
Oh, damn it.
You missed out. Sorry, Milky. '94 Benetton was using traction control. Contentious. By the end of the season, all the teams are using traction control. I don't know the '94 situation. All the teams were cheating. Like, you know, that's Formula One. Once you start getting down into that stuff, it's like, no, all the teams push the rules like that. That's been true for the sport for a long, long time. I see you, fellow, whoever it was. That was loose. If you need something to call him, either that or we use much more expletive names for him that certainly aren't G-rated. Mm-hmm. I don't know, Milky. What's your opinion on it?
On
Just
cross the
all-
center.
Yeah, on all the stuff we've been talking about.
I haven't really been paying attention, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I mean that's fair enough. I mean it's like a, they're both great. Like, why does it matter who's better than who?
Yeah, for me it's a bit like that. It's one of those things where it's just an argument that will never ever be settled. So I'm not really going to
Yeah,
fall
it's too
hard
soon.
on one side. It's like trying to say who would be better, you know, Schumacher or Lauda, Hamilton or Lauda, things like that. You know, Hamilton or Senna. It's like they're racing different eras. It's just an argument that's never going to get anywhere. I just see no point, unless you want to discuss like the finer details, because you're always going to get someone being like, this person was better and here's why, and then someone's going to be like, no, this person was better. So it makes for good discussional topics, yeah, but I think personally, they were both amazing, and they were both amazing in different ways.
So you rate Schumi, but you like his driving aids. To be fair, most of the drivers do. Like, anything that gives him an advantage is what I want. And he was a big cheat. I have some sad news for you, Major Davis. They all are.
If you are competing at the top of anything, like be it darts, you know, whatever, you are going to look for any minute advantage. It's what drives competitive people.
That's true. Like they all are. I've seen a lot of dog stuff over the years. The difference is that when you're racing at the front, people pay closer attention to it. I mean, what Schumacher did to Barrichello at Hungary in 2009, I think it was it 09 or 10?
10. He wasn't racing at 9.
Yeah, it was 10, wasn't it? What he did to Barrichello at Hungary in 2010, yeah, that was disgusting. Like, it was just disgraceful. You don't do stuff like that. However, it's no worse than what Kevin Magnussen did a couple of races ago at Baku to Carlos Sainz, I think it was. But no one talks about that because it wasn't Schumacher. So if you know what I mean, like when I say that they all do it, like he's a big cheat, they all do it. They all cheat. They're race car drivers. I've been a race car driver. You cheat. Like, it's just what you do. If you give a guy a bit of a tap in front of you, look at Max. Max done a bump and run effectively on Kimi in Austria to win the race. Doesn't matter. Like, if they don't penalise it, well, what's the standard? So, if you're saying what he done at Monaco when he parked the car up, yeah, I mean that was definitely questionable. There's no, I've seen other drivers do stuff like that, where they've deliberately make sure they park their car in a position to cause a yellow flag, particularly in qualifying. Just those kinds of things. Oh, I'm stopping this. I haven't been really paying attention.
Didn't Alonso
to
do it
the
at
race.
one point?
I'm sure he did. Sirmi purposely hit Jacques trying to take him out and failed. Yep. He's not the first driver to deliberately hit someone else, but he got his just desserts for it, right? He got penalised and kicked out of the championship.
I think what you're missing here, whoever wrote that, the point is we're not saying that they don't cheat.
Yeah.
We're just saying that
They all cheat.
Oh my god, what the hell? Hang on, something really loud's turned on. Yeah, we're not saying they don't cheat at all. They do. We're just saying that some of them are much more public than others.
Yeah. Oh, bloody hell, I wasn't paying attention at the bloody pit lane speed line. Oops. I was reading the comment. Rosberg has done it. Must be a Jerry thing. Yeah, I mean, it's not only them. Prost and Senna were both guilty of it as well. So if we want to go back to you know, those guys, they both did very questionable things, having deliberate incidents with each other.
Go, exit now. We're racing on the exit.
But yeah, I like that one. We've got to keep an eye on Hulkenberg. That guy's a worry. And just Mercedes in general as a team.
Only one stop to go. One stop left in this strategy.
Oh geez, I've come out amongst the scrubs. I mean, you could quite easily say that, like, even what happened with Raikkonen and Hamilton at Silverstone, you're like, well, I mean, certainly Mercedes had no problem coming out basically labeling Kimi a cheat for what happened, but that was clearly just a driving incident. Like, it's really difficult to define it as cheating if the sport doesn't penalise it, right? And that's what it comes down to. So if they're being given a penalty, then yeah, fair enough. But, like, there's a reason that you have stewards in racing, because all drivers drive dirty. It's easy to be clean when you're at the front not racing anybody. But when you're in it...
It's also so contextual, you know? They're not sitting there in the car thinking, you know, pump that dude off the track because I can.
It doesn't,
you know?
it doesn't make them a bad person. It's just they're a race car driver. They're competitive. You get every advantage.
If you've got the adrenaline pumping and you have to make a very split-second decision, you're not necessarily thinking, "Oh, I should take the moral high ground here." You're thinking, "What's best for me?"
Like look at us. Well, like Ed and I have even raced together. Particularly, you know, even in sim racing, the same thing happens. Like it's you know, it's the same thing happens in sim racing. Like if you go back and have a look at my stream of round 8, whatever it was at Road America, I just dead set punted a guy on lap 1. I don't consider myself to be a bad person or a cheat, but it happened. Like that's just when you're in the heat of the moment and these things move so fast, it's really difficult. I'm not a fan of Ferrari. I hate them in truth, how they feel like they are bigger than the sport. Don't disagree. The sport will go on if they leave. It's so frustrating. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't like the way, I don't like, you know, the big dog in the yard kind of thing, and Ferrari certainly throw their way around that. Look at Grosjean as prime example of a nutter. Yeah, I mean, Grosjean, no one talks about that anymore, but when he was into the sport, you know, he done a lot of really silly things. Oh wow, we've lost a lot of position.
I think it just comes down to whether they learn and adapt.
Yeah.
You know, that's when I sort of showed someone, like, you know, you saw Max, he had a terrible start to this season and he's turned it around, and I'm like, alright, I'm willing to make a judgment call that the kid's not an idiot.
I had that discussion with Luce on stream last weekend about Max, because I'm like, well, you know, because he's like, oh, Max doesn't listen. And I'm like, well, he's done a pretty good job of listening so far this year. So you can't really say that.
You do have to admit there was a long time between when someone said something and when he actually listened to it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, Hamilton's cheap, look at that.
Ban it. Get him off the road.
Yeah.
If you want an example of a dirty driver, that Ferrucci kid that just got banned.
Ferrucci. Good example. FIA Ferrari International.
He just got his contract nominated as well.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you can call FIA Ferrari International assistants. To be honest, the FIA gifted Mercedes championships in 15-16 because they didn't check, because the rule set locked Mercedes' advantage into the sport, and they didn't change it for 2 years. So I don't begrudge Mercedes their championship in 2014. Good on them for beating everybody to the hybrid era. They didn't deserve their championships in 15 and 16, where development was so curtailed on the other teams that Mercedes hardly had to show up. So I wouldn't say that FIA been done Ferrari any favors of late. I think every driver has done something iffy. They absolutely have. Every last one of them. There's not a clean skin in the game.
Except for my boy Raikkonen, obviously.
Did you watch Silverstone?
No, what happened?
Just a little bit of stuff on lap 1. Wasn't much.
Just come into the pits.
No, but lap 1 doesn't count.
Multi 21 still makes me chuckle. Yep.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason I didn't like Seb for ages.
Yeah. I've got DRS, didn't even know. Okay, so I've been asked what steering wheel I use. I've got a Club Sport CS2 base with a Formula rim. If you let me get around to the end of the lap, I'll move the camera so you can see it. In terms of the pedals...
Is that the Fanatec one?
Yep, that's right, Fanatec Club Sport 2. With the Formula rim. And the pedals I use are actually old A1 Advantage pedals that I just adore them. Just so used to them. I bought them when I was still living in Melbourne. No, actually no, I bought them when I was in Brisbane. So I've had them for years, and they've been rock solid. They've got this old PS2 style connector that has to run through a converter box. But they're really good, I really like them. Go on, Kevin, hold him up. No, that's not how you hold him up. Good job not holding me up, though. If I move my camera, forgive me, everybody. There we go. You'll see that I have, yeah, this thing. I don't have any more length on the cord, do I? Oh, no, I do. A little bit. There you go. That's about as good as I can show you. Fanatec Cop Sport 2 with a Formula rim. Pedals under there. Probably a bit dark if I had to guess. Yeah. But yeah, they're A1 Advantage pedals that I've had for quite a long time that I bought online many years ago. That looks about right, doesn't it? I should actually mark that spot. There you go. Alright, back to this.
Okay, gap to leader.
Longest race in... This is the longest race since Canada in 2011. No worries, man. No problem. No worries, Milky. Well, I can keep the masses entertained, I hope. I've gotten pretty good at this over however many episodes of live streaming I've done now. Am I looking forward to the new game? Yeah, I mean, you know, you're always interested to see what they do new. I'm not looking forward to driving a Formula 1 car with a halo. But there's not much I can do about that. So I've got it pre-ordered so I can stream for you guys as soon as it comes out. But yeah, always keen to keep trying out the new game and see what they've added. I'm interested in their
Ricardo's taken the lead.
the fact that they're doing more with the career mode. I'm looking forward to utilising that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more with the media stuff and having my personality affect my career a little bit more, for sure. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about the Halo. I don't think it's going to be a camera review that's going to make that thing acceptable to me. How about you, Major Davis? Are you looking forward to it? Do you play yourself?
Okay, gap ahead is 2.9 seconds.
How about everybody else on the stream for that matter? Is everybody looking forward to F1 2018 coming out next month? Who's planning on getting it?
Daniel has come into the pits. Daniel
What platform are you going to get? You're going to get PC, PlayStation, Xbox? The other thing that they're bringing into it is ERS management. So you're actually going to be managing your own energies and your own power. I think that's cool. I'm looking forward to that. So maybe you have to do, like, if you're in a battle, you can do a charge lap, and I'm keen to see what that looks like. You can use all your deployment down a straight, for example, to defend or to actually attack and overtake. I think that part would be cool. I've played I've driven the MP430 quite a lot on iRacing, and it's got that. And it's a fun little thing to have. It's a shame that iRacing drives like absolute garbage, but other than that. PS4 because I can't wait to get practicing for my league races. Yep.
You're closing in on one of the Ferraris.
Doesn't look like it. PS4 just because your buddy plays on PS4. Cool. Oh, and thank you for the follow, Major Davis. I really appreciate that. Always good to come across fellow F1 fans, even if you know, have nice heated discussions. It's good to see that the sport still generates that kind of passion. I was worried that like this year was going to be a turn off. Like you know, there's been a string of changes made in the not too distant past, you know, that have turned me off sort of, you know, bit by bit about F1. And I was worried that the halo was going to be the straw that broke the camel's back, but I've still been watching every race. I haven't lost that much interest, so I've been happy about that. Because I love Formula 1, so it would be a shame if it was just little things like that that broke it for me in the end. But I'm happy that the sport manages to still get me fired up in discussions. Yeah, no worries, thanks for it.
Teammate, 15.7 seconds.
These tires.
The distance to the leader is 9.2 seconds. To the car ahead is 9.1 seconds.
5 laps or so. live with those Ferraris on pace. Shame because they're the cars I'm fighting in the championship too. How do I get this gear to take that corner third or fourth? Driving particularly consistently at the moment. Bottas pits. Gotta watch for the undercut from Bottas. But he'll be going onto the soft now, we'll be on the super soft later. That doesn't always mean anything in this game, unfortunately. Ooh. Ooh! Well, we might just flashback that because otherwise that's going to be our bloody race over. I don't know what happened there. I hit that curb. Yeah, it wasn't much different from that, I don't think. Weird. Really don't like using flashbacks like that, but I don't want to just DNF races. I don't think that's particularly good for the stream. I'm trying to be entertaining after all. Mind you, I guess the failure is in this way entertaining. Not to me, but maybe to others. Hey, Frosted Shadow. Yeah, thanks for that. I appreciate the.
Approaching the pit window, you'll be on the super softs.
I appreciate the support in doing that. That was just really weird how the car flicked up in the air when I went over that curve. I didn't think I took it that much differently from usual. But there you go. Maybe I just caught too much of it. Well, I mean, obviously I caught too much of it. And thank you for the follow, Frosted Shadow. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate it. You guys are great. Paying attention just to me playing video games. Fully expect that Bottas, I almost called him Rosberg there, obviously our discussion previously about 2016 is stuck in my head. I'm fully expecting Bottas to be in front of us after the stop. That he's undercut us by going onto the fresh softs. Hopefully he's been caught in a bit of traffic. Uri? Did I say Uri? But maybe I was getting into my bit of my Japanese and I was gonna be like, oh, arigato gozaimasu, Frosted Shadow-san. But probably not. The likelihood is that I was just making a stupid noise because, yeah, that's me. That's what I do. No, the girl that popped up, it seems that there's a champion from League of Legends Pro. Oh, perhaps. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's just a it's one of the default gifts from Streamlabs. Actually, I just haven't changed it. I do want to change my gifts to customize them. I just haven't done it yet. I'm a little bit on the lazy side. But yeah, there's gifts that come up when people do various things that's just set up through Streamlabs. As I said, I do want to change them. I just haven't done so yet. I want to be careful here. These tyres have all of a sudden going to fall off a cliff.
Our gap to the car in front is 13.3 seconds.
And I've got Hamilton all over me. Alright, so what do we think the margin's going to be to Bottas when we come out? We're going to be like 3 or 4 seconds behind him, we reckon? Hopefully he's been stuck in traffic. It's tough to say.
Okay, we're ready for you. Box this lap.
Oh, be more than that. Yeah, we're not boxing a lap too soon. Not a moment too soon for this pit stop, I can assure you. These tyres. So where's Bottas? There he is. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. Yeah, about that.
That was our last stop.
No, and there's Daniel.
Pit stops.
See if we can stay in front of that Force India. Ricardo's on the mediums. He might not be stopping again, you know. We should be able to eat him up though. Leave it on Rich for now, a little bit longer. See if we can cover Hamilton's pit stop. Hamilton. Must have been, surely. Yeah, I agree, Frosted Shadow. I think that P3 is the best we can hope for. If both the Ferraris finish, we can't live with them on pace, so... The Ferrari's got by far and away the best car in my career thus far at the moment. So, but I would really like to beat Bottas at least.
Fastest lap of the race. Keep this up.
Let's turn that down. We'll spook Bottas a little bit, I hope. I mean, it was real life. That doesn't apply to the AI, but, you know, I like to think it's real. Hey, FedEx YT. Welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here. Get a kick out of watching me try and chase down third here. Fastest lap didn't last long, did it? Oh, thank you, FedEx. I appreciate that. That's a very nice thing for you to say.
Okay, gap ahead is 3.5 seconds.
Half a second. Oh, 2/10 out of him actually that lap. Really need more than that though. It's caught me. Realised, despite the fact that I've been pushing pretty hard. I was hoping we'd get third here.
Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end
No,
of
we're
the
not.
race on these tyres.
We actually lost. Actually lost like 3/10 that lap. Battling Hamilton's not going to help us. Might end up settling for fourth here.
Gap to car in front is 3.2 seconds.
That's actually starting to blow out. Oh, bloody hell, I missed a downshift. Too busy talking, not enough time driving.
Okay, the gap behind is 9.4 seconds.
No, it's not. It's about 900ths of a second. 9,000ths of a second, even.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Bottas is going to get on the podium here. Hamilton's done a job for his teammate. Held me up enough to make sure we actually just don't have a chance to get to him. Whoa! Downshift again. Oh, and then bad traction. That's not good. Ran wide, had some dirty through tyres. Oh, sorry, I'm missing the... Even P3 became difficult. Yeah, I know. That last pit stop did not work out. But Jeff gets right on my diesel tyres. Yes, he does. Safety car incoming. I bloody wish. Lock-up's not going to help me either. A safety car would be good, wouldn't it?
We pretty much burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on.
Shut up, Jeff. Yeah, well, if you had been watching him qualifying when he went on both of my fast laps in Q3, he started talking midway through the lap. It's really off-putting. Really off-putting. But I just don't turn him off completely because there are times when some of the stuff he says is useful. Particularly about weather and stuff, but like sometimes the pros don't outweigh the cons. You know what I mean?
Vettel's in first
Particularly in
place.
qualifying, where he just doesn't. He just has this propensity to talk when you're on your fastest lap.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Yeah, mate, I've got a gauge on my screen that tells me that. I don't need you to actually tell me that. tyres are pretty second-hand. I'm disappointed that we didn't keep third.
Yellow flag. Some information on Ericsson. It looks like the problem is terminal.
Why would I
Tyre
care?
in the car.
See, it's that kind of radio message. It's like, why would I care that Ericsson's out of the race?
The gap to the car ahead is 3.9 seconds.
I've missed a downshift again reading comments.
Some information on Vettel.
Don't-
They have some kind of mechanical problem.
Vettel's got a problem. See, that kind of stuff's useful. Ericsson retiring from the race isn't. Now, let me read comments here. Bottas caught to the second guy. Oh, never mind. Try to shift faster until something here would be better for speed. All depends. You've got to make sure you're shifting in the right zone, Akin, because otherwise you're going to lose momentum. It would be nice if you could download a voice like a sat-nav. But make it like a rally co-driver, like 5 left and 4 right into
The
hazard.
gap to the leader is 20
Into hazard, Marcus Ericsson.
seconds. 12.4 seconds.
You actually had 2 Jeffs there for a little bit. That was enthralling. Downshift there. I think I saw somebody ask again before what kind of wheel I use. I've got a Fanatec Club Sport 2
There's only one lap of
base
fuel
with a
remaining.
Formula rim. I did show it off on the screen before. Love it. It's the best wheel I've ever owned. Even though it broke at one point and had to go back to Fanatec for repairs. It just stopped working one day.
This is your final lap. Final lap
Just,
of the race.
there's just something wrong with this game. We should have caught Bottas, right? Like, we had Hamilton behind us after our stop, and we pulled away from him initially, and yet we didn't shut right down on Bottas despite the fact we're on a softer set of tyres. That's actually quite common in this game, even though the AI is on a harder compound, that you won't catch them. That compound seems to make very little difference. Like, a lot of the times when you do catch them, for reasons you can't really work out, they're on the same compound as you. Or maybe even softer, so it's... The AI seems to be able to maximise their tyres in a way that the player just can't. I guess is what I'm trying to say, whilst I just finish off this race.
Our gap to the car in front is 5.2 seconds.
Being a Ferrari 1-2, this is not a good result for our championship because we are behind both the Ferraris. So even though we won Silverstone, Kimi was able to finish second, so therefore we only managed to take like 7 points out of him. And now we've given them all back plus some with 4th place.
Great drive, great drive. We're really happy with that performance.
Yeah, but I'm not. I wanted more. More! You get out of here, Lewis Hamilton. What do you want?
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari.
Not even on the
Hardly
podium.
looked in doubt. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
It was a hell of a battle with Hamilton. Yeah, it was.
Here
It was,
they come
Deirdre.
now, out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari on the top step once more.
Kimi wouldn't waste champagne like that. Immersion broken. Anyway, let's have a look at the championship.
And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things
So we're
look
still
in the
third, but we're
drivers'
now
table.
34
It's a good
points
result
off.
for Kimi Raikkonen, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
I'm going to say Stoffel Van Dorn. It was probably one of his best drives this season.
We're still battling hard with
And
Mercedes
here's
for
how
the
things are
constructors.
shaping up in the Constructors' Championship.
Ricciardo not pulling his
Ferrari
weight though. Look at that.
extend their lead at the top of the championship.
Perez
Another
beating
team that
Bottas in
excelled today
championship.
was Williams, who make further progress up
Yeah,
the
Stoffel
table.
Van Dorn, driver of the
There'll
day
be
down
plenty
there in
more twists
12th.
and turns to
Good
come
drive,
this
Stoff.
season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.
Jolly Palmer was clearly driver of the day from 9th to 16th. Well done, Jolly. Oh dear. Akin, thank you for the follow, man. I really appreciate it. That's cool. Alright, so we've got some more points. Oh, Bottas is going to beat me in a rivalry. Oh, jeez. Oh, dear. We're going to draw the rivalry is what's going to happen. At least Lance Stroll didn't finish last. Achievement unlocked. Drover's Lance Stroll didn't finish last. Oh, hang on. I've deselected the game. That was clever. So, despite that, my reputation with Mercedes has gone down. Because I was better than one of your drivers, or because I was worse than the other one? Like, I don't know. Why did I lose reputation? I punted one of them, I guess. They don't like me. Toto's like, that Webby Morto is clearly a cheat. He's a cheater. It's either cheating or it's whatever else he said. So how does that leave our season looking? We won in Australia, third in China, string of fifths and sixths until we finished third at Monaco. We took a gearbox penalty at Monaco, cost me the win. Just breaks my heart. Haven't won at Monaco in my career yet. Then we won at Canada and we won at Britain, but we were struggling to finish on the podium if we don't win. So 3 wins and 2/3. Austria was a huge disappointment for us. Baku was a good fight back, but because we had problems in qualifying. Q1 was wet, and then we didn't, and then it went dry right at the end, and we were in the garage and didn't realise it, and Finn was out. So the fight back to 8th was good. We've got Spa next, so I have high hopes for Spa. I really hope we have a good race at Spa. In previous seasons, have I won Spa yet? No. No, I haven't. Look, Canada. 2 wins at Canada. That's a good result. And we've won Silverstone twice. That's cool. Where else have we won? We won at Monza. I remember. That's right. We did win at Monza. It was actually a really, really surprising victory. My first win for Red Bull. C4K 1T0. Kakito, I'm going to call you. The 933 headset, do I like it? Yes, I like the headset. You know what I don't like is the Logitech software. So the headset itself, really, really good. I'm quite a fan of it. It has good battery life. It's got really good clarity for me. I don't think the microphone's as good. You don't hear me on a microphone, you hear me on this microphone up here. The microphone's a little bit muffled from what I've heard of it. Kakito, cool. I like some of the stuff it does, like the muting when I do that, some of the controls on it. But I don't like the Logitech software. The Logitech software does weird things sometimes. Because I've got my keyboard and my mouse as well, and it sometimes just stops working, like it crashes and reboots and tries to tell me I've got to do a firmware upgrade to my headset when it's already been done, and I think it's a bit unstable. I wish Logitech would fix that up. But the headset itself, yeah, mint. I like it, really, really like it. So given the fact that it's just gone past, it's 20 to 11 in the evening now, and I have to work tomorrow, I'm going to end the stream at this point. I want to thank everybody who tuned to watch, and then particularly those who participated in the chat. Something different. What is the difference between Vegemite and Marmite? I honestly don't know. Let's find out, because I'm curious now as well. I know, obviously, I know Vegemite. Marmite, Vegemite, what's the difference? Culture trip. Marmite, named after a type of French cooking pot, was discovered in the late 19th century by German scientist Justus Ferrer von Liebig, the so-called father of the fertilizer industry. That sounds like a promising start for a food, doesn't it? Who also trademarked the OXO stock cube. The Marmite Food Extract Company, blah, blah, blah. Milder version was exported to Australia and New Zealand, and the spread rich in vitamin B was added to soldiers' rations during World War One. Like so much of Australian culture, Vegemite is basically a rip-off of the original. There you go. So Marmite was first, and then Vegemite ripped it off. Developed Australia's own salty black paste in 1919 after Marmite imports were disrupted by the war. That's what us Australians do, by the way. We just steal stuff from other cultures. That's what we do. I make no apologies for that. We take the best parts of everything. And Vegemite's really good, so we clearly took one of the good parts again. But anyway, that's enough of that. I got to go to bed. So I want to thank everybody who tuned in, everybody, particularly those participating comments. We had another good, really fun comment section tonight. Both Milky and Loose have passed on for the evening, but I thank them for their contributions. They were good. And we had a good chat there before about Prost Senna. It's always an interesting conversation, and the question of who's the best driver in Formula One history is an eternal one. It will never be answered, and I love that fact. I love the fact that you can sit here and it's not locked into the record books who's the best, and I think that's terrific. But that'll do. Thanks very much to everybody for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. We'll do a bit of racing over the weekend, I think. Until then, I've been Webby Moto, and take care. Bye for now.